All right then. So now all we have to do is to create a project folder. So please maintain all your programs, everything in the separate project folder. So we don't have to worry about it. So we can maintain a separate workspace for our Python and everything. So in this case, I'm going to create a new project folder in the desktop, and I'm going to say Python. 1 second. Python tutorials. All right, so let me open this in the Visual Studio Code. There are different ways to open this in the Visual Studio Code. In this case, if you right click it, and you can find the option called open with in your Windows platform, and you can choose the Visual Studio Code, or you can directly open up the Visual Studio Code, like search for VS Code. So that will gives you the Visual Studio Code. So search for Visual Studio Code, so you can open it directly just like this. Then you can see the Visual Studio Code. Then all you have to do is to go to your open folder option, file open folder option, and choose the selected for the folder which we created in the desktop. Then that will open up the Visual Studio Code over there. So this is just by using the menu functions, and there you can see the Python tutorials which we are currently active in our workspace. Right, so in otherwise there are one more option. Just by using the command prompt, all you have to do is to open up your terminal or command prompt. You open your terminal, and then in this case I need to navigate to the desktop. Then under the desktop I do have the folder called this, what is that, Python tutorial. So I need to access this Python tutorial. So if you are using the Windows machine, so all you have to do is to follow the certain commands. So for Mac and Linux, commands are same, but for Windows it's quite different, right? So let me show you what is the different over there. So basically, to navigate from one screen to, which means from one folder to another, we have to use the cd command, which is nothing but change directory, which helps you to change from one folder to another, right? So all you have to do is to move forward direction, cd space that folder name, what folder name that you have to move into. So you need to type that folder name. If you wish to come back from the folder, to go back to back, all you have to say cd space double dot. So that will takes you to the previous folder. Okay, and then to create a directory, to make a new directory, to create a directory, mkdir, and you have to type the folder name. What folder name that you have to type, then that will create that folder name in that specified directory. And if you wish to remove the directory, rmdir, remove dir, okay, remove directory, and type the directory name. So that will remove the directory from that particular location. All right, so these are the commands that you have to use. And to list out all the directory, to list out all the directories in the current location, in Windows and Mac, that you in Linux and Mac, you have to use the list command. So this will give a list of directories or files, whatever which is inside that folder. And in the Windows, you have to type dir. That will gives you the list of files inside the list of files and directories inside that particular location. Okay, so keep it in mind, to move into a specified folder, all you have to do is to cd space folder name, and to get back to that previous folder, cd space double dot, right? And to create a new directory, mkdir, and remove a directory, rmdir. These commands are common for both Linux, Windows, Mac, or whatever it is. And to list out all the files and folders which is inside that particular specified directory, you have to use ls, which is supported only in Linux and Mac. And for Windows users, you have to use the dir command to list out all the folders which is inside the specific folder. So here, if I wish to move back to the previous folder, cd space double dot. So now I'm not inside the desktop folder. If I use ls, so that will gives me the list of files and folders which is inside the same directory, in the current directory of the location where I am, which means the home directory of my MacBook. So let's say I want to get into the desktop. So cd space desktop. So now I'm inside the desktop folder, right? So clear, that will clear the entire command line. Then if I type ls, so that will gives me the list of files which is inside the specified directory, and I need to open this Python tutorial. So let me get into the cd Python tutorial, right? And now I need to open this in the Visual Studio Code. So let's say code space dot. So that will open up the current folder in the Visual Studio Code. So basically this code space dot, which means code is a command which helps you to open the Visual Studio Code, using the terminal, using the command line. Using the command, you can open the Visual Studio Code just by typing code, and code space dot or code space folder name, that helps you to open up that specific directory in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is to open a specific directory. Okay, so these are the commands. All right, so now we successfully created a project folder and we managed our project workspace, and we learned how to open this in the Visual Studio Code. And in the next session, we have to see how to install the necessary extensions and the plugins which is necessary for the Python build which we are talking about, and that's what we are going to do next.